Scotchlite brand reflective sheeting isn't difficult, but it is a process that improves with knowledge, practice, and the right set of tools. This video will explain and demonstrate the screening process for 3M diamond grade Scotchlite reflective sheeting using the same methods and procedures you're already familiar with in screening 3M high intensity reflective sheeting. So you can use the same 3M process colors and, of course, the same screening tools. However, there is one small distinction you must be aware of when screening 3M diamond grade reflective sheeting. Diamond grade's interlocking diamond-shaped prismatic lenses must be oriented vertically to deliver maximum reflectivity and maximum angularity. So you want to pay special attention to the orientation of diamond grade sheeting throughout the screening process using the orientation marks visible in the sheeting surface. High-quality screening centers around a good quality screen. For bright color and durability, use a polyester monofilament screen, mesh size PE 157. Make sure the screen fabric is tightly stretched and fastened onto a wood or metal frame. This frame should be large enough to create a well between the frame and the open design, at least 8 to 10 inches wide. With most processed colors, you'll need to use water-soluble films or direct stencil emulsions. They will resist ketones and lacquer solvents. Masking tape will contaminate your colors, so don't use it to block out screen areas. Rapid, dry, water-soluble blockouts work the best. Next, select your squeegee. It should be 3 to 4 inches longer than the open area to be screened. And it should have a straight, sharp rubber or plastic edge. If it has nicks, it won't spread the color evenly. So for complete coverage, keep the squeegee sharp. Finally, select the appropriate Scotchlite process color or colors. The recommended process colors for use on both diamond grade and high-intensity Scotchlite brand reflective sheeting are Scotchlite Series 880 Rapid Dry Process colors. Colors can be screen processed on applied or unapplied sheeting. Series 880 Rapid Dry Process colors come screen ready in handy pour spout containers, so there's no mixing, no thinning, and no straining. To screen color uniformly onto reflective sheeting, the off-contact system must be used. So raise the screen about 1/4 inch above the sheeting surface. Most screening operations are now automated, in which case your machine will probably make this adjustment for you. But if you're screening your sign faces by hand, you'll have to make this adjustment manually, using blocks to hold up the sides of the screen frame. This will help lift the screen fabric smoothly away from the screen surface as the impression pass is made and helps ensure uniform thickness and coverage. Register the sheeting or sign blanks under the screen and position alignment guides of the same thickness along 2 edges. Again, check the orientation of the sheeting by checking the orientation marks in the sheeting face. They should be oriented vertically. And make sure the squeegee has a smooth, flat approach to the surface you'll be screening. Pour a small amount of color across the top of the screen. Make sure your color will cover the entire surface area you intend to screen. Adjust the squeegee pressure as necessary. Wipe the surface lightly with a clean, dry tack cloth to remove any dust. Then start your machine. The mechanism will make a flood pass automatically, filling the screen, and then an impression pass, screening the image onto the sheeting surface. The result is a bright, durable image that will dry quickly when racked individually. But take caution not to bend the screened image unnecessarily as you move it to the drying area. Direct fans on the racks to help move the air and facilitate the drying process. If you can, direct the fan at an exhaust source. 3M recommends that you follow local, state, and federal guidelines for ventilating the screening and drying area regardless of what ink system you use. Ventilation is the best way to avoid exposure to solvent vapors. Sheeting processed with Series 880 transparent colors must be air-dried for a minimum of 3 hours between colors and 3 hours after the final coat before stacking or packaging. If you put your drying racks in an oven, Series 880 colors will take just 30 minutes at 105 degrees Fahrenheit to dry between each coat. Sheeting to be air-dried must be racked individually with sufficient open space for unobstructed airflow. After they have dried, Series 880 transparent process colors must be clear-coated to protect the screened image and increase your sign's durability. Use a clean screen that will provide clear coat coverage of the entire sign surface. Pour a small amount of clear coat across the top of the screen. Make sure your clear coat will cover the full sign face. Reinsert the screened sheeting face and wipe the surface lightly with a clean, dry tack cloth to remove any dust. Then lower the screen. Your mechanism will automatically make a flood pass, filling the screen, and then an impression pass, screening the clear coat onto the image surface. The result is a brighter, more durable image that will dry quickly when racked individually. Dry the clear coating the same way you did the process colors. Series 880 transparent colors must be clear coated with 880 Clear using either the screen process or a roll coat. Do not apply 880 Clear by spray coating. Edge sealing generally is not required, but if necessary, 899 edge sealer can be used. To clean the screen, use solvents from the same series, like 891 Thinner. You can also use DPM, dipropylene glycol monomethyl ether, or 4 parts xylene to 1 part methyl ethyl ketone. In our demonstration, we used Scotchlite Series 880 Rapid Dry process colors. Other 3M process colors are available depending on your application. Series 840 process colors remain available in limited colors for use with lacquer-soluble stencils. Let's review the main points covered in this program. Begin with a taut, clean, properly set off-contact screen and a squeegee with a straight, sharp edge. Use Series 880 Rapid Dry process colors, using clears and thinners from the same series. Don't mix from series to series. Make sure the sheeting is oriented vertically to ensure maximum reflectivity. No matter which screening method you use, always screen using a fill pass followed by an impression pass. Direct fans through the racks and let colors dry according to specifications. Clear coat the entire sign surface. Then let the clear coating dry as outlined. Keep your work areas well ventilated and make sure signs or faces are completely dry before you package them. Screening graphics onto 3M Scotchlite brand diamond grade reflective sheeting isn't difficult. And your finished product will be a bright, durable, high visibility, state-of-the-art traffic sign that will enhance your community and help keep it safe. Application of 3M Scotchlite diamond grade reflective sheeting is easy in the hand squeeze roller applicator because we've designed diamond grade to be as easy to work with as 3M high intensity, the industry leader you already know. You can apply 3M Scotchlite reflective sheeting to any properly prepared substrate, although an aluminum substrate is recommended. And you can apply diamond grade at room temperature, 65 degrees Fahrenheit and above. The only difference is in the orientation of the sheeting on the substrate, because you'll want to properly orient diamond grade vertically on the substrate to take advantage of its greatly enhanced reflectivity and angularity. If it's a large volume application, you'll probably choose a mechanical or interstate type squeeze roll applicator. But if it's a small volume application or a large sign application, you'll use a hand squeeze roll applicator. Let's take a look at the various application methods using the hand squeeze roller applicator. There are 3 basic applications to consider: small signs, 36 inches or less in width; large signs, more than 36 inches in width; and special or unusually shaped pre-cut factory spliced signs. Let's start with a small sign. When applying diamond grade, you first orient the sheeting on the substrate, aligning the orientation marks vertically on the sign. Because diamond grade Scotchlite reflective sheeting is directional, this is an important step. Properly oriented, diamond grade reflective sheeting will deliver maximum visibility and maximum angularity to produce the brightest, most reflective traffic sign we've ever produced, as much as 10 times brighter than the sign it's probably replacing. The orientation step is unique to 3M diamond grade. With that one exception, you'll find that application of diamond grade is the same as 3M high-intensity reflective sheeting. Carefully align the orientation arrows vertically for maximum angular performance and maximum reflectivity. You'll also notice tooling lines every 30 inches across the web. These tooling lines are inherent in the process of manufacturing reflective sheeting, but you may also use them as an additional alignment aid. The tooling lines and orientation marks are visible in the shop, but are not visible from the road, either in daylight or at night. Of course, if you're using a pre-screened sheeting, the proper orientation step is already built in. You need only place the sheeting properly on the substrate. Next, with the nip open, insert the substrate, close the nip, and set the nip pressure. Many hand squeeze roller applicators now use air pressure to maintain the nip pressure automatically at approximately 80 pounds per square inch. If your hand squeeze roller doesn't have an automatic pressure system, you'll have to set the nip pressure manually. This is an important step, so check the instructions for your particular applicator. Close the nip and set the nip pressure. With the nip holding the sign and sheeting in place, peel back a few inches of the liner to expose the adhesive. Fold the liner under the sheeting to keep it out of the way while you position the sheeting on the substrate. Press the sheeting lightly onto the sign at the center to adhere the exposed adhesive. Then use a hand roller along the entire exposed portion. Lift the nip and turn the sign, placing the just adhered portion into the nip. Close the nip again. Drape the unadhered sheeting over the top roll and remove the liner. Keeping the draped sheeting taut, laminate the rest of the sheeting to the substrate by turning the roller. And that's all there is to it. For oversize applications, signs larger than 36 inches in width, or for special or unusually shaped signs, like diamond or pennant-shaped signs, we manufacture a variety of pre-cut, factory-spliced diamond-grade faces and sheeting in all popular shapes and sizes, with the proper orientation already built in. Let's look at a diamond-shaped sign, using pre-cut, factory-spliced diamond-grade sheeting and the split liner technique. With the sheeting face up, apply a strip of tape along the seam. In most cases, you would turn the substrate sideways and treat the sign as a square. But because you want to keep diamond grade's orientation marks aligned vertically, choose factory-spliced diamond-shaped sheeting. It's already oriented for you, so all you need to do is align the orientation marks vertically on the substrate, register the edges, rotate the sign 45 degrees, and proceed as if it was a square. Feed the sheeting and substrate halfway into the nip, centering left to right, and close the nip as before. Drape 1/2 of the sheeting over the top roll. Peel back, cut, and remove this half of the liner. Again, fold a small tab of the remaining liner under itself. This really helps later. Keeping the sheeting taut, laminate the linerless half of the sheeting to the substrate, and you're half done. Run the laminated portion back through the nip. Drape the other half of the sheeting over the top roll and remove the rest of the liner. Keeping the sheeting taut, laminate the rest of the sheeting to the substrate. And it's that easy. Large signs, even diamond-shaped signs, come out bright, bold, and perfectly oriented. Just remove the tape. With large signs, you'll want to use the split liner method to ensure alignment and lamination without wrinkles. Again, apply a strip of tape on the face of the sheeting along the seam. Center the sheeting and substrate in the nip. And orient the diamond grade sheeting on the substrate vertically, using the orientation marks, and register the edges. Center the sheeting and substrate in the nip, left to right, then close the nip as before. Drape half the sheeting over the top roll. Peel back, cut, and remove this half of the liner. It really helps if you fold a small tab of the remaining liner under itself for easy removal later. Keeping the sheeting taut, laminate the linerless half of the sheeting to the substrate, and you're halfway there. Run the laminated portion of the sign back through the nip. Drape the other half of the sheeting over the top of the roll and remove the rest of the liner. Keeping the sheeting taut, as always, laminate the rest of the sheeting to the substrate and remove the tape. It's that easy. Large signs come out bright, smooth, and perfectly aligned. No matter which type of sign you're creating, with Scotch-Lite Diamond Grade and Scotch-Lite High Intensity Grade sheetings, you've made the best, brightest, most durable signs in the business. .3M Scotch-Lite Diamond Grade reflective sheeting is brighter, bolder, and safer, delivering maximum angularity and maximum visibility. With a distinctive new interlocking diamond seal pattern and a familiar blue liner. Yet Diamond Grade is as easy to work with as 3M High Intensity, the industry leader you already know. And you can apply Diamond Grade at room temperature, 65 degrees Fahrenheit and above. The only difference is in the orientation of the sheeting on the substrate, because Diamond Grade must be vertically oriented to take full advantage of its enhanced reflectivity and angularity. For large volume applications of 3M Diamond Grade reflective sheeting, you'll probably choose a mechanical or interstate type squeeze roll applicator. First, load the sheeting onto the stock roll mandrel, centering it from left to right. Then lock it securely in place, tightening the roll on the mandrel. Place the loaded mandrel on the machine. The Diamond Grade sheeting is already oriented vertically on the roll, so all you need to do is make sure that the orientation marks will be aligned vertically on the finished sign face. Feed the sheeting between the stripper roll and the top rubber roll. Separate the liner from the sheeting and attach it to the take-up mandrel. Peel back the sheeting from the liner and place the sheeting in position to begin production. Insert the substrate and adjust the edge guides to align the blanks and the sheeting. Be sure to adjust the edge guides on each side of the machine. Remove the substrate and insert a starter panel. Advance the roll and adjust the tension to a minimum setting without creating a loop. Proper tension will keep the sheeting from stretching if it's too tight or wrinkling if it's too loose. Insert the substrate immediately behind the starter panel and begin production. If you are operating at temperatures below 65 degrees, warm the substrate to at least 65 degrees. Turn the CalRod type heater away from the sheeting, directing the heat at the substrate. This will help achieve adhesion. Insert additional substrates one after another. Set the speed at a comfortable level. Use the brake control to make minor adjustments. As the laminated signs leave the machine, separate the signs by cutting the sheeting along the sign edge. Application to irregular shaped blanks, like stop signs, is easier if you use a scrap liner from rolls you've already used as a conveyor to carry the blanks through the machine. It will also protect the bottom rubber roll from coming in contact with the exposed adhesive side of the sheeting. And it's that simple. Your signs come out perfectly aligned, perfectly laminated, and vertically oriented. The best and brightest traffic control sheeting available.
Safe storage and proper installation of reflective signs starts back in the sign shop where the roll goods are stored. Right from the beginning, storage should be at room temperature, indoors where the roll goods can be kept dry. Rolls should be left in the original boxes, stored horizontally with the labels facing out. Cut sheets should be stored flat. After faces and signs are manufactured, they are generally packaged for either shipment or storage. It's important to protect them in either case. Packaging supplies that you need for high-intensity grade signs include number 82 slip sheeting, 1/8-inch foam padding, cardboard cartons, nylon washers, and warning labels. For engineer-grade signs and faces, you need number 8 slip sheeting, cartons, and warning labels. Methods for packing faces for shipment vary with the grade of reflective material used. High-intensity grade faces are packed one on top of the other, up to 50 per package. Included in the package is enough number 82 slip sheeting for vacuum application of the number of faces in the package, and enough nylon washers to cover field installation. Engineer-grade faces are shipped up to 100 per package, separated by number 8 slip sheets with the plastic side against the face. Faces of both grades are shipped flat. Completed high-intensity signs present slightly different requirements. First, number 82 slip sheeting is placed with the plastic side against each sign face. Then, 1/8-inch foam padding is placed between the slip sheets as the signs are packaged face-to-face, back-to-back. Again, nylon washers are provided. Finally, the carton should be secured with tape. From this point on, high-intensity signs should be stored and shipped on edge. Plastic or steel banding should not be used. since pressure from bands can leave permanent marks on the sign faces. The use of tape is generally the safest way to do it. Completed engineer-grade signs are packed with a layer of number 8 slip sheeting, plastic side against the sign face. All completed signs are to be shipped on edge, and all packages should be labeled with a warning of required storage conditions. Of course, you often work with signs larger than these. Overlay panels of high-intensity sheeting are packed in sets with individual panels numbered in proper sequence for color matching on a specific sign. Overlay panels are crated and packed face to face, back to back. The faces are separated with number 82 slip sheeting, the plastic side against each face, with 1/8 inch foam between the slip sheeting. When the panels for more than one sign are packed into one crate, each complete set is separated with a sheet of cardboard. That way they can easily be identified in the field. The complete crate displays the list of the contents and the label warning of required storage conditions. Directional signs are crated fully assembled whenever possible. The design of the crate provides an air separation. This crating method holds the signs safely and permits air circulation. Packed this way, the faces are protected from damage by water or external pressure, and the crate can be stored outside on the job site if necessary. This crate also should have the contents list and the warning label. When trucking signs from the assembly area, the contents must be kept dry. This means using a closed vehicle, either rigid top or canvas covered. Crates are positioned vertically so the signs travel on edge. All crates and packages should be braced to reduce movement to a minimum. When the truck arrives at its destination, packaged signs must be stored indoors, on edge, and kept dry. Only unmounted sign faces are stored flat. Procedures are different if the signs are to be stored out of doors. In this case, the signs must be unpacked and stored on edge off the ground to permit free air circulation and normal moisture evaporation. Nothing should be allowed to lean against the sign face, since pressure could cause a permanent mark. Signs stored like these will be destroyed before they can be installed. Keep signs dry. Store them indoors. Installation on the signposts should be made as promptly as possible. To install warning and regulatory signs, use nylon washers against the high-intensity face. Tighten the bolts only from the back of the sign. On the front, use only tools that will not scuff the face. By the way, this is what happens to a sign face when nylon washers are left out of the installation. Overlay panels are installed in the proper order. Be careful not to scuff or scratch the faces by careless handling or by walking on the faces of a new overlay. The best way to avoid damage is to make the installation with the sign in the vertical position. Directional signs may be hoisted directly onto the supports. Avoid slings or straps that might scuff the face. Let's re-emphasize the most important steps that we've covered. Package high-intensity faces with number 82 slip sheeting and nylon washers included separately in the package. Ship them flat. Mounted high-intensity signs are packed back-to-back, face-to-face, with number 82 slip sheeting, plastic side against each of the sign faces, and foam padding between the slip sheets. Nylon washers are also included. Engineer-grade faces are individually separated with number 8 slip sheeting with the plastic side against each screened face. Engineer-grade signs are packed with number 8 slip sheet, plastic side against the face. Don't use banding, which puts pressure against the sign face. Stick with tape if you can. And be sure to use the warning label telling the next user the correct storage and installation procedures. High-intensity overlay panels are packed with number 82 slip sheet, plastic side against each face, with foam padding between the slip sheets. Mark the panels for correct assembly. Crate them and mark the crate. Guide signs are crated and suspended so that nothing touches the faces. Be sure to label crates of overlay panels and guide signs too. When trucking signs from the assembly area, the contents must be kept dry. This means using a closed vehicle, either rigid top or canvas covered. Crates are positioned vertically so the signs travel on edge. Store finished signs indoors, on edge, and keep them dry. Finally, when you install a sign to its post on site, use a nylon washer on the front. Tighten the bolts only from the back. Also, handle large signs and overlay panels carefully so that you don't mar or scratch the face. Follow these few easy handling rules to ensure that signs travel from your shop to field placement in the same bright, unmarred condition.